Hi, I'm Mark Taylor, and it's time for another episode of The Mark Taylor Show. This week's guest is a returnee, buddy, Tyler Deveau. Welcome back to the show, Tyler.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Hey, you've been doing some traveling, I guess,
since last time you were on? Bit. Yeah.
Down in Nashville again.
Down in Nashville, recording and writing.
Okay. How long were you down there?
8 days.
8 days,
Yep.
Okay. Writing some tunes?
Writing some tunes, doing a bunch of recording, trying to survive the heat.
Yeah. Was it hot down there, I guess?
Oh, crazy.
Yeah?
Humidity, it just kills you.
Wow. Okay. So how many songs did you record when you were down there?
4.
You did four?
4 songs.
And it was obviously it was in Nashville. So were they all your songs, or were they other guys that songs that other people had written?
Right. 2 songs. 1 song I wrote myself.
Okay.
Another song I co-wrote, and the other 2 I cut.
Okay.
So,
wow.
yeah.
We were talking off air about how you get these songs from other people. You say they email them to you in a recorded form, like the audio clip, and you listen to them, how they did them, and whether or not that's the way you want to do them or not, that's up to you, right?
Yeah. Basically, they just send you the songs, and if you want them, you can record them. If you don't, you can just chuck them.
Okay.
So they give you like a few songs, just to listen through, and you can pretty much tell whether you really like it or not by the first time you listen to it. So these 2 songs that I cut, I was like, okay, I got to record these 2.
Okay. Nobody gets offended. Obviously, there were some you didn't want, right? I mean.
Yeah. No, it's just,
It's a business.
It's a
just
business.
It's like anything else.
Yeah.
It's a business.
You want the best songs, really.
Well, yeah, and it's got to be something that you like.
Exactly.
Because God knows how many times you're going to have to sing them.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about it and how many takes, speaking of how many times you sing them, how many takes did it take to do the song? So are they normally...
In the studio?
You didn't get them first take, did you?
No. No, we went in with the musicians and just did more or less of a demo, just a rough copy, basically.
Okay.
And just to kind of give the musicians a rough, I guess, take of what I sound like singing the song, so they kind of work around it. And then a few days after the musicians are done recording, I go into a studio and just do strictly vocals that day.
Okay. So did you play any instruments?
No.
You didn't do any instruments this time?
No, vocals. That was it.
Okay, well, which is kind of cool, because you're sitting there with the headphones on, and you're
really
listening
weird.
to it, which is, it's got to be strange.
Oh, because I'm so used to, being on stage or, sitting on the couch at home with a guitar singing. So it's really odd to, be in this little box singing to myself.
Yeah, I was going to say, and it must be really odd to be singing your own song when you didn't play the music for it.
Yeah. Oh, it's, it takes some getting used to, that's for sure.
Yeah. Wow. You're going to do a couple songs for us tonight.
Yes, sir.
This one here is the first one that you're going to do. It's a Good Time to Be Us.
Good Time to Be Us.
And it's available on Google Play and on iTunes.
Yes, sir.
And who wrote this song?
It was my producer and one of the co-writes on my EP, Phil O'Donnell from Norton, New Brunswick.
Right.
Wade Kirby, which was another co-writer on another song of mine.
Okay.
And another guy named Merv Green, I believe.
Okay.
So
wow.
All 3 of those guys are hit songwriters for George Strait and Blake Shelton. So
and you, as we mentioned beforehand, you're getting some airplay out of this too, which doesn't hurt.
Quite a bit. Quite a bit, actually.
You're Tide and Country 94.
Yep. Moncton, we just got an ad on Moncton, so that's mind-blowing.
Wow.
Really.
So you got pretty well the southern New Brunswick, the country scene covered off anyway.
Yeah.
Wow. As I say in the biz, without further ado, let's get her going.
Friday night, bare feet, swinging off a boat dock, grooving to a boombox, sitting there talking about you, about me. Can't help thinking how good you look tonight. Your face on the water like a picture. Dip your toe in the ripples, take it away. It's okay, 'cause I know you'll just turn around and smile at me. You're a sight to see. It's a perfect time and place. Close your eyes and you can taste the endless nights and freedom days, and every kiss along the way. Where we are's where we belong. Every moment's like a song. The world just lets us sing along because it's a good time to be us. It's a good time to be us. Watching the sky like a drive-in movie. You whisper to me right when you lean in, and I know this perfect night's about to get more right. Fingertips up and down my back. Try to do the same and you're starting to laugh. Then we can't stop. That kiss will have to wait a little while we just sit here acting crazy. It's a perfect time and place. Close your eyes and you can taste the endless nights and freedom days, and every kiss along the way. Where we are's where we belong. Every moment's like a song. The world just lets us sing along because it's a good time to be us. It's a good time to be us. It's a perfect time and place. Close your eyes and you can taste the endless nights and freedom days, and every kiss along the way. Where we are's where we belong. Every moment's like a song. The world just lets us sing along because it's a good time to be us. It's a good time to be us.
Wow, good job, good
Thank
job.
you very much, man.
So that's as I say, it was on iTunes, and I went on the iTunes site and everything, and there was you put reviews in here. And the review for that song was, Tyler brings back nostalgia of summer nights and young love. Fun and catchy, what a beautiful voice, a hit for sure. And that's by Florida Virgo is the person who posted that on there. As I say, it's available on iTunes and Google Play.
Perfect.
Which you say, I think we talked about before, because your other song, Christmas in the Woods, you said they kind of look after getting it on iTunes for you, right? I mean,
yeah.
It's just, you really,
Yeah, I'm not
sure how that all works.
No.
But it's a fun song. It's a love song, obviously. It's I would think that, to me, it's a real catchy tune. I like songs like the way you just played it with it's all stripped down, just the guitar.
Yep.
What instruments were on the song, the recording?
There was a banjo, acoustic guitar, electric guitar, bass, drums. It was a country recording. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
all the twangy hillbilly
Yep.
juice, I guess.
Did you get to meet all the guys that played?
Yeah,
Oh.
I did. They were all a few of them have played in Reba's band.
Okay.
And so it wasn't just, for me. They've been, in this stuff for years. So they were real
session
skilled.
musicians, I guess is what they call
Yeah.
them, right? I mean,
Yeah.
because that's kind of like their hired gun, right? They come
Exactly.
in and maybe there's guys that just do harmonica.
Yeah.
And they'll come in and they'll just lay down a harmonica track and they're out the door and collect their paychecks.
And they do this stuff every day. Like, we went in the studio and all the musicians played, I think it was the second take of them all playing together, and that's what you hear on the recording.
Wow.
So they have.
So these guys have played together as well, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, how do you start out? Do you start out with the acoustic first, and then and lay the tracks on top of that, or I guess maybe it wasn't. You didn't know.
Well, when I was in the studio doing sort of the quick, rough draft demo sort of thing, I have these headphones in and I have the mic in front of my face, and so they start counting down, and then you hear like this ticking to sort of set the the rhythm basically.
Okay.
And then everybody just starts on the exact same time. So you're just like,
Wow.
how are they doing that?
Yeah.
But it's just like, that's their job. They've been born to do that kind of stuff.
Because I think we talked about before, that you'd never really played in a band that much.
No,
yourself.
not at all.
I mean, most of the time you've done solo. You've done some duets, have you not? Or,
A couple duets.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit different too, because then
for sure.
you're bouncing off somebody else's guitar or whatever, you're hearing theirs as well as yours at the same time. But it had to be, a learning experience, obviously.
Oh, it was insane. It's just, you know, coming from a small town, you don't get to see stuff like that every day.
No.
So you're in Nashville, Tennessee, in a recording studio where, like, Willie Nelson, you know, recorded.
Yep.
And my producer told me 2 weeks prior to when I was there, Lee Brice was in there recording his new album.
Wow.
So, you know, it sort of
Some
puts some
heavy hitters.
pressure on you. Oh, insane.
You almost have to pinch yourself to see if it's a dream, right? I
mean, for sure.
And you did 4 songs in 8 days.
Yep.
Wow.
I did.
How many songs have you got written that I mean, you said you got 4 done, right? You got four
Yep.
done, and what are you looking at? Maybe 10, 12 for an album?
Hopefully we can get 10 for an album.
Okay, so you got to get 6 more, and you're hoping for a 2016 release, right?
Yeah, I think for right now we're going to work on these 4 songs and just put it out as a 4-song EP.
Okay.
So people can just buy that for now.
Right.
And so we're kind of hoping that all those 4 songs will be on the radio. We have Good Time to Be Us right now.
Okay.
And hopefully sometime, probably this fall, we're going to put another one out.
Okay.
And in the new year have another one, and then
did you record the one that you played the last time you were was a Dance
Girl? Yeah.
Dance Girl.
That one's recorded.
It is.
Yep.
So that was your own song, right?
My own song.
Oh, so that's the one you recorded, and there's this one, and you have 2 others.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I guess, you know, if you know, if you probably, I don't know if you do a tour or whatever, how you work this, but you know, things like this, you know, some appearances here and there will certainly help you. Are you looking to do some shows somewhere?
I have a couple benefits coming up, stuff like that. I've met with 92.3, the new country station in Fredericton.
Okay.
I met with those guys and the program director. I played Good Time to Be Us for them.
Okay.
And so, you know, just trying to get my name out there to all the radio. That's the main target right now.
And then you say, well, I got to do the Mark Taylor show.
That's right.
That's the big one right there.
That's the big one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's television even. So you mentioned benefit shows. I guess we talked a little bit about that. How do you decide on what the benefit shows? Because I mean, it seems like, you know, there's, you know, for no fault of anybody else, but there's a lot of sickness, a lot of people going through some hard times.
Sure.
How do you decide? I mean, obviously it must be a time thing as well.
Yeah, it's you know, you just gotta, I guess, really step back and look at the main cause of why, you know, they're asking, and you know, he's just like, well, this is more about them, not me.
Yep.
So they want, you know, me to come to this thing that they're trying to raise money for.
Yeah.
So it's always for a good cause, no matter what it is.
Yep. I mean, there must be some you have to turn down, though. I mean, you just you can't go to everything, because I mean, you're working a full-time job as well, right? So
yeah. It's you know, it's tough. I've done 2 in the same night. I've went to 1 and played a few songs, rushed off stage, and made it into town for another one.
Wow.
So it's you know, it keeps you busy for a little while.
Yep. So and it takes up a lot of time. I mean, like as I say, because when you get your time off, because you're not working 5 on and 2 off, you're not working a typical weekend. Your weekend may come in the middle of the week.
Yeah, basically.
You know, it's just weird times that your weekend, and you may get a Saturday and Sunday off, but you may not. It's just the way she goes.
You know, it's one of those things where you really gotta strip it down and see what you can do. Yeah.
So you say you've got another tune you'd like to do. This is the first time we've ever done this. What's your next one you're gonna do for us?
This one is a one I wrote with my producer and good buddy Phil O'Donnell.
Okay.
For people, you know, he's from Norton, so people that don't know him, he's written Doing What She Likes for Blake Shelton.
Okay.
And Give It All We Got Tonight for George Strait. And
okay.
Like, he's good buddies with Craig Morgan, so he's he's
wow, he's in the know.
Oh,
obviously.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, you got to know people, that's for sure. Oh. So what's the song about, and a little bit, maybe a little background about it?
It's just about having a good time.
Okay.
You know, it's just I guess the song just speaks for itself.
Okay. Well, what's the name of it?
A Girl to Go With It.
A Girl to Go With It.
Yes,
Let's get her going then.
All right. Got my feet hanging off the end of the dock. Just watch that sun drop, waiting for my bobber to pop. got the night sitting on ready to go. Fireflies starting to glow. Time ticking nice and slow. I've got a song to go with it. Got a beer to go with it. The sky is clear and all I hear is the river and the crickets. Got my old guitar to go with it. Stars that shine to go with it. It's a perfect night. Got all the time in the world to go with it. All I need's a girl to go with it. Got my mind floating on an evening breeze. I'm right where I wanna be, and there's a spot right next to me. I've got a song to go with it. Got a beer to go with it. The sky is clear and all I hear is the river and the crickets. Got my old guitar to go with it. Stars that shine to go with it. It's a perfect night. Got all the time in the world to go with it. All I need's a girl to go with it, to sit by me till the dark just disappears. That's all I need. It's really all that's missing here, yeah. Yeah, I've got a song to go with it. Got a cold beer to go with it. The sky is clear and all I hear is the river and the crickets. Got my old guitar to go with it. Stars that shine to go with it. It's a perfect night. Got all the time in the world to go with it. All I need's a girl to go with it. All I need's a girl to go with it.
You weren't lying. It does speak for itself.
Yeah.
There was no need to talk about
No,
it was quite
country
clear.
music.
How long does it take you to learn a new song?
I co-wrote this song with Phil and his good buddy Wade Kirby.
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, I guess you're there from when it first happens to the very end. So you're sort of, because you're always.
You didn't record
doing
this.
that.
This is just one.
I recorded it.
Oh, you have recorded that one. Okay.
It's going to be a single.
Okay,
someday.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're, let's say you wrote a song, let's say you go and write one tonight, how long would it be, like obviously you got to put the chords to it,
Yeah.
what you're going to do with it and everything like that, there's that part of it, like before you could actually play it without having the words in front of you.
Yeah.
That's a little tricky, isn't it?
A little bit. Sometimes, you know, you just sit there, oh, I like that title, or oh, I love that chorus or verse, bridge, whatever. And then you just start writing it down, but then you don't have you don't have the music to go with it.
No, that's right. But it must be, I mean, you think back years ago when you were learning, obviously, cover songs. You were learning other people's songs and stuff, just trying to learn how to play the guitar and how to sing and all that stuff. It takes a while to build yourself up a little repertoire of maybe 10, 15 songs that you know without having the sheets in front of you, right?
I guess it's just, you know, if you hear the song, you really like it, it'll be a lot easier to learn.
Well, especially if it's your words too, which is a little bit different than somebody else's.
Oh yeah.
But the other part of it is too, is when you're doing somebody else's songs, you have the benefit of hearing the song probably 1,000 times. Like you mentioned Willie Nelson or something. If you want to do a Willie Nelson song, well, I've heard this 1,000 times. I know the words anyway because I've sang along it with it in the car, and I've done this and I've done that. So, wow. So, I guess I was watching the National a few weeks ago, but Peter Mansbridge was he was interviewing Gordon Lightfoot.
Okay.
And he asked Gordon, he said, Gordon, I'm going to ask you a question. He said, what song of somebody else's do you wish you would have stayed up at night and wrote? Do you have anything like that? Like a song you think, wow, I'd like to have written that one? Not just maybe for financial reasons. Obviously, some of it is because that's where the money goes.
Exactly.
It's a songwriter.
I
Is
guess
there anyone you really like?
As far as financial and a song that would, I guess somewhat speak to me as well. And I'm not just saying this because he's my producer and a good friend, but
Okay.
Give It All We Got Tonight would be, because we
Okay.
all have those nights, where it's
Yep.
just like, just before sunset, you're going down a dirt road,
Yep.
honeysuckles floating through the window,
Yep.
and it's just, you have your special lady with you.
Yep.
So it's just, give it all we got tonight.
Exactly. You don't know how many more of them you got.
That's right.
That's the same with with anything, I guess.
Exactly.
So I guess we had mentioned before in another previous show. Do you still do the odd cover, or is there?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is there any covers that you like doing more than others, or?
Lately, I've been really into, I guess, Lee Bryce and
Okay.
that whole kind of thing. But Luke Bryan, just the
Yep.
sort of go-to. If you run out of songs, you're like, oh well, I have this Lee Bryce song that I can
Yep.
play.
Do you like any of the old classics?
I went through a Johnny Cash phase.
Okay.
Yeah, where I didn't listen to anything but Johnny Cash.
Yep.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's never any plans. Obviously, you got to get a few albums under your belt,
Yeah.
but probably down the road to do an album of covers, it wouldn't.
Exactly.
People are doing it all the time.
Oh, totally.
And then there's people that are doing songs of theirs in stripped down versions. You'll hear bands that'll go and they'll play they'll like down. As I say, this is the way I like listening to
Yeah.
music. It's just
Well, this is where it comes from. You sit down before you go write a song. It's just what you see here is the musician and an instrument.
right.
And so when you I guess the best example I've had, because I just got back this previous weekend from the CCMAs in Halifax.
Okay.
And I played 3 shows there,
Right.
little showcases. I guess they were big showcases for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
But yeah, I watched a songwriter series with Phil O'Donnell, Craig Wiseman, Johnny Reed, and Paul Brandt.
holy smokes.
And it was just those guys on the center stage, and there was like all of us like watching, like circled around them.
Oh, it's a songwriter circle. Is that
That's exactly what it was.
because they do those? They do them at the Junos. They do them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you sit around and you talk about how you wrote the song,
Yep. And how
the
it
little
came
bit of
about.
story behind it, and
And
play
it's
your tune.
always, it's always so cool to watch and listen to songwriters tell the story of how the song came about, and then actually witness them sitting there as the song, originally
Well,
started
yeah,
with a guitar.
exactly. And they don't have
No.
5 or 6 guys in a band backing them up.
Exactly.
And you got to be able to, and it separates people
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Because there's people that that have voices that they tune them up in the studio.
Yep.
And stuff like that. But if you
Yes.
could go out and do a show, I remember seeing Jimmy Rankin one time in St. John, just him and his guitar. And I thought, wow, the guy's got to be, you got to know what you're
Yeah.
doing in order to do that in front of a
Basically.
big crowd. So,
Yeah.
so do you ever get nervous or anything like that, or like when you're around people like that?
Such as like higher up.
Yeah,
people?
yeah, like people
Oh.
that are
All the
established and
time.
stuff. Yeah,
All the time. CCMAs, like, I guess my first CCMA I went to was last year in Edmonton.
right.
So that was the first time I was ever around that.
Yep.
And you just look everywhere, and there's like Emerson Drive, Dean Brody, Derek Rattan walking down the hallway.
Yep.
And this year, I guess for me, I was a little bit more like chill about it because I
Yeah.
had seen
Well,
them
you actually got to
before.
perform because in Alberta you didn't, right? You just were more of a spectator.
yeah, exactly. Just
This
to
time
kinda
here,
learn
you
the
actually
ropes.
got to join in, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Oh, it was crazy,
and to hear
see-
somebody like Johnny Reed talk about the songs, I mean, I don't
Yep.
know if he wrote all of his songs or not, but I mean, I know he's done some covers, so I know that he doesn't do all his songs, but for him to sit there and say, this is how I got this song, somebody gave this
Oh,
to me,
yeah.
or whatever. But that's quite a thing. So are there any more, how do you get your songs, can you get them nominated for the ECMAs?
Somehow,
There's
I'm
a
sure.
process of that, I think.
Yeah.
Because I believe Lance Matheson was telling me, because his group, the Ascension's got,
Okay.
and I think it's got to be within the calendar year.
Yeah.
So you could probably put your song in. I don't know how you get it nominated and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but certainly
Someday,
that song,
hopefully.
you're worthy of a nomination for sure.
Well, we're hoping so.
Yeah,
we're,
yeah,
trying to get these songs out and getting people, to play them and,
yep.
request them, the local radio stations, all that kind of stuff, and just kind of getting my name out there and,
Yeah.
playing them for Mark Taylor.
There you go. Yes, yes. The big time.
Yeah.
Coast to coast.
Exactly.
Yeah. So have you got any trips planned again for Nashville? When's that going to take place?
I'm gonna wait till my bank account starts.
Okay. Okay, so
back up a little bit.
People buy some tunes on iTunes when heard of that.
iTunes, Google Play.
Google Play. Let's get her going. I already bought it. I bought it
you.
on iTunes. I went in and
you.
got it. So it's fascinating to hear your story and see you progress in your career and hope that sometime that you're just going to be too big to come here and I'm going to have to open up my wallet and sign you to come here. So
no, I'm never too big to come back to the hometown. So.
Well, there we go. Yeah. Look who's in the big town.
There you go.
Well, anyway, that's another episode of the Mark Taylor Show. This week's guest has been Tyler Deveau. As I say, get that on Good Time to Be Us on YouTube, iTunes, and Google Play. Thanks a lot, and please join in next week. Thank you.